Despite that reading assignments are prevalent, methods to encourage students to actively read are limited. According to our formative study, instructors find quiz questions helpful to stimulate active reading, but time-consuming and challenging to create, while existing automatic question generation systems do not produce high-quality practice questions. As an example, they produce factual questions that do not exercise higher-order thinking. On the other hand, questions handwritten by instructors are thought-provoking and help them achieve educational goals. To support instructors to conveniently design high-quality questions that help students comprehend readings, we proposed ReadingQuizMaker, a human-NLP collaborative system that adapts to instructors' natural workflow of creating questions, while providing NLP-based process-oriented support. ReadingQuizMaker has three main panels: a navigation bar, a paper panel, and a question authoring panel. The paper panel displays the HTML version of the reading with the original formatting. Users can select text from the paper panel, send them to the question authoring panel to create questions. The question authoring panel provides automatically generated section headings based on the HTML source input. On the question authoring panel, users can add a question, choose a question stem from the bank, or type in their own question stems. ReadingQuizMaker offers three types of NLP-based support. First, when the user selects a text, the system offers real-time preview of NLP suggestions. For shorter sentences, the system offers an entity replacement suggestion and a paraphrase suggestion. For longer paragraphs, the system offers a summarization suggestion. The goal of such real-time preview is to increase the discoverability of the AI suggestions and reduce user efforts to trigger them. For every suggestion, user can choose to use the original text, the entity replacement result, or the paraphrase or summarized result. Second, when users send text to the question authoring panel, the system offers preview of suggestions beneath each option. This includes paraphrase suggestions and negated suggestions. Users can easily choose to ignore these suggestions and modify the text themselves. Third, users can open the NLP toolbox if they want to explore further operations based on NLP. The toolbox first loads the original text in the option. Users can choose to apply paraphrase, summarize, negation operations to transform the text. Specifically, since most participants find coming up with destructors to be challenging, we designed the negation to give them suggestions. The negated portion of the original text is highlighted in the outcome. We implemented a user-controllable version of negation where the user can decide which word to negate in a sentence. In addition to single operations, users can also combine multiple operations through chaining. For example, user may reuse a paraphrase output as the input for negation in order to produce higher quality destructor. On the question authoring panel, users can choose to manually write options, copy the previous option, and write feedback to every option, and delete them afterwards, then save the question. Additionally, the system supports transferring figures to the questions. The navigation bar here highlights figures and tables with green blocks since instructors express that they want to ask questions about figures and tables from the formative study. Here's an example where a user can select a figure and use it in the question stem. The design and development of ReadingQuizMaker went through several rounds of user testing. We anticipate the questions resulting from ReadingQuizMaker can be used by students in two ways. First, instructors can directly download the questions into a CSV file from the system, transfer it into a QTI package, and import it into a learning management system such as Canvas. Instructors can directly assign it as a quiz for students to complete through Canvas. Second, the resulting questions can be made into a reading guide. When the students submit their answers, the reading guide gives immediate feedback mapped to the original text in the reading for each of the questions. We evaluated ReadingQuizMaker with 13 instructors from 10 universities. Users pick reading text including academic papers from ACMDL, online tutorials, online text box, and social media articles, which shows that ReadingQuizMaker supports diverse sources of reading inputs that has an HTML source. In our user study, participants commented that the interface was easy to use and helped them create better questions while saving time. They found the AI suggestions in ReadingQuizMaker to be useful and desirable, and they got inspiration from the suggestions, but they would make sure they read the AI results before using them to avoid errors. Moreover, participants report strong preference for the human-AI teaming approach offered by ReadingQuizMaker because it gives a sense of control. And they found the questions that were automatically generated in the baseline condition to be of low quality and challenging to edit. Please check the paper for the detailed study and findings.